I see what ho, chaps and chappets, Game Chap and Bertie here. Yes, fellows, and I dare say, goodness me, we are reporting to you here on some of the biggest news from Minecraft we've yet seen. Isn't that right, old chap?
Oh, we most certainly are. Yes, indeed. And so hang around and listen to everything because we're sure you'll be very, very interested in this.
You better hold on to your seats, fellows, because this actually is the first time we've actually seen any sort of announcement quite like this from Mojang.
Most certainly, yes, indeed. Now, what is it? Well, a new Minecraft game has been confirmed by Mojang today.
Did you say a new Minecraft game?
I most certainly did. That's a new Minecraft game confirmed by Mojang today. But before we go any further, I'll quickly say, although it's been confirmed by Mojang, we mean by that they've announced it.
That's right.
It won't actually be being done by Mojang.
It's not being developed by Mojang themselves, that's quite right.
Indeed.
In fact, fellows, this new game is being made by a third party. That's right, and the third party in this case is Telltale Games, publishers of The Walking Dead and the Game of Thrones game.
Most certainly. Now, apparently, Mojang will still have little looks in and still be sort of hanging around there, but it's going to be developed and done by Telltale Games.
Yes.
As you said, publishers of The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, etc. Now, this is quite a well-known company and done some jolly good games, but they do tend to be rather very violent.
Well, they do. Now, of course, the question is, what we all know about Telltale Games, or we should do, is most of their games follow an episode-based format. Now, can we say the same for this game, old chap?
Well, this is most interesting, you see, because apparently, yes, this Minecraft game that's being developed is going to follow an episode-based format, something we've never seen in Minecraft before.
Really?
Certainly for the main Minecraft, yes, episode-based format, with episodes being released at various stages, a bit like The Walking Dead, I presume.
Well, that's right. Now, actually, you said there, Bertie, we've never seen anything like episodes before in Minecraft, but actually, technically speaking, I think we have, old chap.
Really?
Well, yes, of course, because up until now, the community is used to receiving regular snapshots and updates of the game, a bit like episodes in a kind of strange way. So maybe it's not that far away and detached from what we already know, old boy.
Well,
it's quite similar in some way.
Well, there's something there, but I think when we say episode-based, we're talking about it's actually going to have a storyline.
Exactly.
Which is absolutely completely different that we've never seen in Minecraft before, apart
Now,
from sort of mods and things.
Yes, did you say there is storyline? That's very right. And of course, that brings us on, Videos, to the name of this game. We can say to you now, Videos, the name of the game will be Minecraft Story Mode.
Right, my word. So we've got a name, Minecraft Story Mode. And indeed, as that title suggests, chaps and chappettes, it will be all about the story of Minecraft. But
What?
because when we think the story of Minecraft, what just came straight into your head, and my head and perhaps all of your heads out there? I'm sure you saw Blocky Green Grass and Steve.
Stephen, Herobrine and all the rest, old chap.
Well, Steve, yes, exactly. But apparently our friend Steve will not be included, however.
Really?
No,
No Steve.
not going to be there.
Well, that's interesting. So if you've got this game about the Minecraft story, Videos, but it won't be including Steve, then what on earth will it include? The sheep?
Very interesting.
We'll
most
have to
certainly.
see.
Now, will it include the player?
Well, now, just setting the story aside for a moment, do we have any information about the availability and, of course, the release date of this game?
Of course, yes, indeed. Now, availability. Well, apparently it's going to be available on the Xbox, the PS4, the PC, the Mac, iOS, and Android devices. So the whole thing.
I see.
And they're going to be they're not looking at this years out there. They're looking at 2015, next year.
That's very soon. So
Almost certainly.
now, when you said, and I said Minecraft Story Mode there, I
Yes.
actually thought in my mind's eye there of pressing this button on the screen that says to change your game mode. So you've got Survival Mode, Creative Mode, Adventure Mode, and Story Mode. Is that right, old chap?
Well, no, it isn't. It's going to be a story just like they have sort of in The Walking Dead, or a story where you start at chapter 1 and work through. Something's actually going on. Rather than you just going into the world and doing things in Minecraft, there's going to be a story that you'll have to follow, apparently.
So let me get this straight here. This is not actually part of Minecraft. This is not an expansion pack. This is a completely standalone game by itself.
Yes, that's an important point. This is not something that you're going to be adding on to Minecraft, chaps and chappers, if you think that. This is something that's actually going to be entirely different, developed by another company, here.
Right.
With Mojang having a look in. And yes, completely separate from what we've got now.
So basically, it's another game entirely, but it's just bearing the Minecraft name, which makes it so exciting. Now,
Certainly.
as you know, Felios, Minecraft doesn't currently have a developed storyline. That is, you make the story because you're the player, you'll see. Now, apparently, Mojang thinks the community is baying for a story or a fictional narrative in Minecraft. Now, I wonder if that's true, old chap.
Well, that's a very strange thing for them to say. Perhaps they've got some feedback or something on that. But an interesting point but then Minecraft itself owes its success partly to its encouragement of the players' creativity, to replace the absence of any story.
Well, exactly.
That's what the whole thing's about, you see. And, we've been around quite a while with Minecraft and been involved in the community for years, but we haven't heard too much about a big demand for that. So it's an interesting thing to say, but perhaps it's there anyway.
Well, indeed. Maybe it's one of these silent things, but certainly I think what you just said there was quite an interesting point, Elchap. Certainly, part of the reason why the game is so successful is because it doesn't have a story, and so it says to you, well, you've got to make your own world, be creative, make your own story, and so that's what all the players out there have been enjoying doing all this time, I think, and using the new features to help them do that as they became available with updates, etc., and so forth.
Certainly, but perhaps just chipping in there, perhaps this is another way, an interesting spin to put on it, so that you can do another game. Because presumably, if you didn't have that, well, I suppose you just have the same thing as we've got now.
Exactly, that's a good point. So it's an interesting idea and a basis for a new game. Now, apparently, the new game's story mode, the story mode of Minecraft story mode, will be driven by the player's choices.
Oh, now that's an interesting point, because the player's choices, so it looks like you'll go into it and then be set with, you've got to, do you want to do this, do you want to do that, perhaps, whatever it might be.
Well,
and of course, the other thing to that is, will it be sort of third person or first person?
Well, that's an interesting point, certainly, Elway. You could go for either third or first person, but when I think of a player choice-driven story game, my mind is cast back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which of course was an RPG game,
yes,
but the decisions you made in the game made you either the light or the dark side, so you could be good or bad. Now, would it be similar here? Can you make a good or bad decisions and then thereby become a good player or a bad player and perhaps Herobrine? I don't know.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there. Could it be that your choices affect how well the story turns out? A bit like, I suppose, Dishonored.
Yes, indeed. Yes, will it have RPG elements?
That's a very good question, in a way, and certainly we don't know the answer to that yet. Now, apparently, as regards the story, the Telltale Games staff will be writing the story, so the chaps over at Telltale are going to be taking care of the narrative, but with possibly some input from both Mojang and also the community.
Most certainly, and does this have an audible narrative?
An audible one?
Yes.
Well, what do you think? Like a spoken one, perhaps?
Well, yes.
I suppose it might do, old boy, yes.
It's an interesting point.
It's hard to say. It could have a narrator, perhaps. Yes, it's quite possible, I suppose. But certainly it seems the Telltale Games staff won't be alone. They will be perhaps taking input from Mojang and indeed you chaps out there.
Well, when they say that, it may mean sort of looking at what's been done out there already, perhaps.
Maybe.
And then trying to draw a little bit of inspiration from that. We don't know. But they'll certainly be writing it, yes, indeed.
Now, something you said earlier, old chap, which I thought was quite right. Telltale Games usually make dark or violent games, like, I don't know, The Walking Dead and the Game of Thrones, etc. These aren't exactly child-friendly and happy-go-lucky sort of games. But with the appearance of the bright and blue, smiling, shining Minecraft-backed logo on their page, it does indeed just seem to clash a bit with their history. So what have they had to say about that, old chap?
Most certainly, that's a very interesting point. Yes, indeed. They make violent games, but apparently, despite that, the tone will be similar to Minecraft, with not being dark or violent.
Oh.
As is the case with the other games we just spoke about. So, this would be perhaps quite a challenge for them. So they've got to try and implement this in before, and they've all, before, up to now, they've just made sort of violent games.
Yes.
So it's been quite a challenge, no doubt. But they say, no, it won't be violent like that, which I think is probably just as well, because although we've got certain we can kill creepers and things like that, and Steve can get knocked out, we haven't seen much violence in Minecraft apart from with mods and things like that.
Not really, that's right. So it's going to be, I think, quite a challenge for them to make the transition to this generally child-friendly sort of Minecraft game without this dark sort of over-brooding sort of theme of zombies and killing and death and whatnot. But I think that now that they have been asked to make the move to this new format, we shall certainly be interested to see what they can come up with, certainly. Now, also apparently, during their process of announcing this new Minecraft game, Minecraft Story Mode, Mojang did have a chat about Minecraft 2 in there.
Well, yes, indeed, yes. They referenced Minecraft 2 and called it a joke.
Just a joke.
They made a little joke out of it and said, yes, now I'm going to sort of, we're going to talk about Minecraft 2, but then they didn't. It was just a little joke.
It was a passing joke, yes.
As we said yesterday on our report, because news is just coming thick and fast here, and we're just trying to bring it to you as quickly as we can, as soon as we get it, and just put it straight up for you so you can hear what's going on. But certainly, as we said yesterday, when you say Minecraft 2, it puts something in your head, you see?
Yes.
Put something up there, and, that means that, Minecraft 2 is always a possibility when it's in the front of your head like that, you see?
Well, certainly, anyway. Now, just a bit of background for those on Telltale Games. You may be saying, well, who the blazes are Telltale?
Yes.
Well, Telltale Games were founded in 2004 by a group of ex-Lucasfilm employees who may perhaps have been disgruntled about the cancellation of their project Sam & Max Freelance Police. Now, they secured funding from angels and investors and then released an episode-based series entitled Sam & Max Season 1.
Yes, most certainly. So 2004, they've been around quite a while.
Yes.
Because in this sort of industry, that's a long time.
It is. Now,
10 years.
the Sam & Max episode-based series they released was so popular that apparently since then they've been successfully producing episode-based games since that date. One very popular example, of course, being The Walking Dead.
Most certainly, yes. I think they've proved their stuff that in that respect, so they can certainly make episode-based games and they know what they're doing with that.
Yes, that's right, I think. Now, just one question I would have to ask. Do Telltale have anything to do with Microsoft?
Well, that's a very good point, and no doubt people will be thinking that, because of course, it's all very well saying we're going to make this game, we're going to put the word Minecraft on it, and Minecraft elements, etc., but of course Microsoft's sitting up the back there saying, excuse me, we actually own the game.
Exactly.
And thank you very much.
So what's going on there?
So that's very interesting, yes indeed, and no doubt they must have given some form of consent to it or whatever, we don't know.
They must have given the okay, that's right.
Yes, but Telltale Games, yes, what have they done? Well, yes, they have indeed been in contact with Microsoft before. They have made various deals in order for their games to be available on the Xbox platform, which up until the point when they made those deals, they weren't.
Oh, of course, that's right. So by default, they will have had to have spoken to Microsoft in the past about Xbox, the Xbox platform, of course. It's quite interesting.
Yes.
Now, I think having covered the presence of this new game and the exciting confirmation of it, and I'm sure, no doubt, many of you are already looking forward to it, I would have to ask the question, well, why is this being done, old chap?
Well, this is a very good point, yes indeed. And I'm sure, you just said they're looking forward to it, but I'm sure everyone will be thinking, well, looking forward to this, what is it? I don't know whether I'm going to like this or not.
Well, indeed.
There's going to be an awful lot of questions from the community, but, of course, they've been very careful to make sure that and say that it's separate from the main Minecraft.
Yes.
You see, they made that very, very clear. And I think, why was it done? There's some very, very interesting points there. And one of them can be perhaps like a testing ground, for example.
A testing ground?
Well, most certainly you can get the feel of what the community will do with another type of game and how they feel about it and their feedback, etc.
With a different style of Minecraft game.
Different style of Minecraft game without introducing it into the main vanilla Minecraft, which of course could be a marketing nightmare if it wasn't received well.
Yes, that's right.
One way.
They keep it separate, you see, and minimise damage if it goes wrong.
Most certainly, but of course, why was it done? Well, isn't Minecraft already quite popular?
Well, quite popular.
Why it's sold
Fairly popular.
2.5 billion. I mean,
exactly.
We've already got a Minecraft game, seems to be going okay, you see. And of course, we have not heard much about people wanting Minecraft storyline things in the past few years, as we said earlier. Now, it could be wrong, and people might say, yes, I think it's a lovely idea. But it's not something we've heard pressed, I think, a huge amount, all over the place. Now, could this, though, be a way of getting the community, quotes, prepared.
Prepared?
Yes, now prepared. Now what do we mean by that? Well, getting them very familiar with a game just like Minecraft.
Yes.
Very similar, it's got a Minecraft name and you've been told it's like Minecraft. But now, of course, fully integrated into all platforms that you can possibly think of in a very much Microsofty way, perhaps bearing all the marks of commercialism, like big companies like Microsoft, instead of small Swedish game developers.
So what you're saying here is the game would have this very much a big market approach to the whole process there by releasing across multiple platforms, and it's all shiny and glossy and pay for this. Whereas up until now we've always had the overall air and flavour of this small Swedish indie developer just making a game for the fun of it.
Well, yes.
Now, of course, you've got this big business sort of sales machine that's on Xbox, it's on PC, PS4, Android, it's all across the whole place. And you may say, well, Minecraft's already on those platforms, and yes, it is, but not all at the same time. It wasn't all released at once like that.
Indeed, and perhaps not looking how and presented how this one will be. And
yes.
Of course, they get prepared. This is just hypothetical, we're just saying at the moment, but nevertheless, whether you look at it that way or whether you don't, it still works in that people then are prepared, the community is prepared, and perhaps then once they get used to that, it might be quite a lot easier to get them used to the idea of their beloved Minecraft being totally integrated into the system in the same way that this Minecraft story is.
Oh, I see. So you mean perhaps making Minecraft as we see it now fully cross-platform?
Yeah, oh yes, indeed, yo.
Well,
and with all
yes.
the other little changes that they may want to bring in.
I don't know. At this point, it's hard to say where they're going, but they could well be testing the water, I suppose, old chap. Who knows?
Most certainly. Now, that's just a thought of why it may have been done, you see, because very strange, because we've already got an extremely popular game.
Well, or yes, I suppose, or the other possibility is they could just want to milk it for some more money, old chap.
Well, very
You never
possibly.
know.
Yes, indeed.
It could just be that behind it.
It might just be that.
Yes, or certainly it could indeed also be Microsoft pulling the strings behind this one. But in any case, Fiddles, this is a rather exciting announcement, and I dare say I don't think anyone could say they saw this coming.
No, certainly not. No. I think we should say perhaps that it's obviously been in the pipeline for some time.
It must have been.
And it's been kept well and truly under wraps because we've heard nothing at all. There's been no whistleblowers, absolutely nothing whatsoever anywhere.
No.
I mean, it's only just come out, and it could well have been well planned and known by all three parties for some time, and I do mean, Mojang, Telltale Games, as well as Microsoft. We don't know.
I think so, because you know why I think that, old chap.
Yeah.
Mojang have historically never really been very good at keeping secrets. They're always leaking secrets in advance of updates.
That's the idea.
Mr. Jeb did it, Mr. Notch did it, and perhaps they did that, I think, on purpose to excite the community. It's a good idea to build hype, etc., and so forth. But this time, not a word was said before the official announcement today. Not a diggy word, nothing at all. Silence, just like a mainstream game would be. Everything kept under wraps. So I certainly think, yes, there is some outside influence going on here.
Yes, it could well be. Yes, I suppose if someone's got someone, by the lapels in one fist, as it were, and holding an NDA or something similar in the other, it is a little bit more encouraging for them to say nothing.
We can picture that. Yes, that's right. Holding a cleaver over his head or something.
Yes, but nevertheless, I
Yes.
mean, very exciting news, very interesting news, and news whereby no doubt lots of fans will be rubbing their chin thinking, let's see what this comes of this sort of thing,
Well, indeed, but I dare say our ears will be most firmly affixed to the ground on this one, Fails, and any more news will bring it to you straight away, for this has been Game Show and Birdie reporting on the brand new Minecraft story mode.
Yes, what do you
Thank you
think?
very much for joining us, I say. I will look forward to seeing you once more the next exciting out and good as well.
Yes,
Until then.